Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of the Yoga Love podcast. My name is Noelle Whittington. I'm happy that you chose to listen today. Thank you for being a part of our tribe, our soul tribe. I would love to talk about detox today. It's kind of a buzzword. I'm not really sure how I totally feel about it. And I have the wonderful opportunity of leading a yoga teacher training this weekend on Detox. Detox Vinyasa Yoga. So my main focus for leading this teacher training is to remind myself and my students that there's nothing wrong with us in the first place. Coming back to a space of self-love and non-judgment through actually being honest about our thought process, the things that we put in our body, and our lifestyle is really important so that we can find out what is fulfilling and what's unfulfilling, so that we can notice the patterns that we have that are holding us back from whatever our wildest dreams are. And even giving ourselves time in the first place to figure out what those dreams are is important. I don't know about you, but just thinking about what it is that I really want is often, constantly changing. So again, we'll go back to the top needs and values from nonviolent communication. It's so helpful to continually look at that and reassess and reevaluate what our non-negotiables are for our lives so that we can fulfill those. And they change a lot. For example, I've been really flexible with my schedule and traveling a lot over the past 3 years, and I'm noticing now that stability is something that's important to me that wasn't before. So I'm, continuing to travel a lot in order to meet my needs for stability and for less travel and for more consistency in my schedule, and eventually, buying a home somewhere. So that's something that's important to me. And in that, I'm being called to step deeper into my ideas of what home really means. And I was listening to a bunch of podcasts on my long drives, as I always do. And one of the podcasts I was listening to was a Tara Brach podcast. And it was talking about reclaiming the sacred soul, I believe, and how our bodies have become just disconnected. We've been disconnected, we've been fragmented. And there was another podcast by Teal, Swan, talking about the fragmentations of consciousness, and they both had really wonderful things to say. Tara Brach was talking about coming back to the body and how often we check out. We spend a lot of time during the day in a trance-like state where we're just sort of going through the motions, but we're not fully present with what we're doing. And it's really easy for us to do that now because we've trained ourselves to look at the internet, every hour or whatever it is, so that, we tell ourselves it's for our business. But really, I think, myself included, we could be honest about the fact that we're just kind of addicted to it. So what's really important in this moment? Am I actually with my breath? Can I feel the sensations that my body is trying to tell me so that I can find the most optimal physical health and mental health and be conscious of my emotions and what my soul is trying to tell me? The Teal Swan podcast was talking about the fragmentations of consciousness. And this was really important for me. She was talking about the idea of balance and how we talk about balance, sattva, harmony, light, meaning that there's got to be equal parts of our body and our mind and our spirit, and equal balance of the masculine and the feminine energies, and equal balance. But that idea of balance, she described it like a scale. So you have to take something from one side to give to the other so that it's level. But what about the idea that you don't really need to take from any aspect of yourself to level it out? Why does it have to be level? Why does it have to be a duality? Why can't we create, an extra category? And that really hit home for me, because balance, we can't really ever find equanimity in these bodies and these minds, because we're constantly changing. Everything is evolving and moving and flowing. Our blood is flowing, our breath is flowing, our heart is beating. Everything's changing in every moment. That's the nature of Prakriti, our matter, our ever-changing state. The constant manifestation and fluctuations of energy will never be the same moment to moment. As one of my friends said, it's never not now. Wait, we missed it. Now. How about now? Now? So, jokes aside, how can we notice how often we try to discount one of our aspects? So Teal Swan put it like this. Some of the teachers out there encourage us to embrace the idea that we are not this body. And, we're more than this body, and we exist far beyond this body, I think. But right now we are in these bodies, and I think for optimal health and wellness from a full spectrum experience, body, mind, and heart, spirit, soul, I think we really owe it to ourselves to honor the body. I think that the idea that we're not the body can cause a separation. Our bodies are these beautiful tools that tell us all of this information. The body will talk to us. The body will tell us that we're feeling sick, or the body will tell us that we should be afraid and look out for danger. And the body will tell us when something's not right. And if we don't listen to that, then how would we know that we were being guided to a holy teacher or a spiritual teacher, or to our best self, or to the kind of foods that are going to be helpful for our digestive system on that day? The feeling that you get when you meet someone, usually right away if you really pay attention to your sensitivity, whether you feel comfortable with them or not. They have a particular energy. So if we don't listen to the teachings of our body, how can we be guided to understand what our heart is trying to tell us? And our mind as well. The mind wants to qualify and categorize and help us to understand everything. And really, the breath, I think, is the bridge between the body and the mind. And the mind follows the breath, and the body follows the mind. So if we can use these pranayama tools, we can create spaciousness in the mind and change our energetic state so that our body can follow. So Teal Swan said, when we hear a phrase, don't listen to the mind, follow your heart instead, that it could be really powerful to change one of those words to your name. So, for example, don't listen to the mind, listen to Noelle instead. And then that really hit home for me, because we're telling ourselves to not pay attention to one aspect of ourselves, that we are somehow not worthy, or we don't deserve that, or that we misunderstand ourselves, or that we don't have all the right answers, or that we're doing something wrong. And that creates, I think, more separation and more judgment. And that just really hit home for me. And then the next step, she said, was to just change any of those words, body, mind, heart, soul, to just all of your names. So that same statement would be, don't listen to Noelle, listen to Noelle. Your Noelle will guide the way. So what part of myself is right? That creates a right and a wrong, I think, and how do we know what's true? The only way we know what's true for ourselves is through our own personal experience of the response that our body creates to our energetic state, to the emotional messages that we get from our heart and our soul. So I really feel like a personal aversion to listening to teachers that say, we are not this body, we are not this body, because right now we are this body, you know? There's more to this life and our soul's evolution than the container that we have now, for sure. I really truly believe that. That was solidified for me when I was present for my grandmother's transition. That was just one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had. If you've ever had the honor of watching someone pass, it is the most intensely powerful and profound experience to be able to feel the energy move through their being and watch them change from being in the body to moving on to whatever is next. I've felt my grandmother's last breath come up, move through her, and leave. And I knew when it was about to happen. It was just the most beautiful thing. And because of that, I don't have fear of death anymore. I'm actually curious. And, you know, I'm not ready to go yet. I have a lot of love to give and receive on this planet. But I think when we can really be fully present for the teacher of every aspect of ourselves, then we can become more well-rounded, and we don't have to be so obsessed about what the right way of living is, or what the right teaching is, or the one way that we're supposed to do something, or that our bodies are dirty and we're wrong and we need to detox. You know, our body is designed to heal itself. I think all we have to do is to just take responsibility for the stuff that we create with our minds and what we put into our bodies and what we subject ourselves to from an energetic and emotional perspective, and then let our bodies heal themselves. You know, we have to be honest about whether we're consuming alcohol or drugs or unhealthy foods, or if we have an unhealthy relationship, or if we're being abused, or any of those things. Of course, that's going to create the fight or flight response in the body, where we're just trying to get through the danger. And chronic stress comes from just, you know, our lifestyle that we've created and being constantly stimulated and plugged in and having to work all the time. And our culture really supports that. Our culture will, you know, calls it the hustle. And we, to a certain extent, kind of celebrate being exhausted and overworked and spread too thin. And, you know, we really reward and look up to monetary gain, and that somehow equals power and our worth. And what I've learned in this life, and I keep learning all of the time, that's wonderful. When I think I know something, the universe shows me a different way, is that I think the true meaning of life is to just be able to spend time with people who share your values. And my friend Kristen Cooper Gulak helped me to really understand that, you know, and I think, you know, she would agree with this too, but I think that our main goal is to just create a more simple life where we're more connected to nature, where we can remember that we're made up of the elements and that we're all part of each other and we can all learn from one another. And I think that's really why we're in these bodies, and that the bodies and the relationships that we form with other people and other beings are the greatest teachers that we can have. So I think that looking at our lifestyle and the relationships that we have and the people that have been drawn to us because of the quality of energy that we're putting out, and, you know, our relationships really just mirror our view of ourselves in that moment. That was kind of a hard thing to swallow when I learned that. But our relationships are just as much of a part of the creating health and wellness process as anything else. So you can drink all the green juice in the world and you can do all of the sweaty yoga, but what's your intention behind that? Are you doing all the sweaty yoga and drinking the green juice because you feel like you should punish yourself for having that second or third glass of wine like a couple of times a week? Or do you feel like you saw these beautiful Barbie looking women on TV and so then your beautiful voluptuous belly is not attractive or acceptable? What kind of messages are we putting into our minds from these TV shows and these fashion magazines? And are we punishing ourselves because we think that we're not good enough? If that's the intention, then there's a deeper issue. And, you can do whatever you want to the outside, but until we connect with our heart to be able to truly look at what we're doing and where we feel our unmet needs are, we're going to continue to have challenges. So I think let's talk about detox from the point of view of that we are absolutely divine. And in that divinity, we are just illuminated. We are a miracle. We're one of a kind and we're unique. And our bodies are designed to heal themselves. And the more that we can really be honest about our choices, the more that we can create that environment for our body to do the good work that it wants to do in the first place. So look around you right now. What does your environment look like? Can you see outside, or are you outside? What kind of relationships do you have in your life right now? Do you feel your life has purpose? What is it that you really want? These are all really important things to ask ourselves. If you know something is not right for you, figure out what is right for you and very clearly ask the universe for the thing that it is that you want and put it out there. And I would recommend starting from the cnvc.org website. That's the Center for Nonviolent Communication website, and looking under the needs and values and just picking your top 10 right now. That has been so helpful for me, again, as a guiding tool to what is most important in my life. And then try to surround yourself with people that share those values. Ask your partner, ask your parents, ask your friends what their values are, and show them that, the needs and values sheet from either, if you have a nonviolent communication book, or from the website, and see what aligns together and be able to learn from the values that you don't share. How can you support one another? The people that you love, how can you get to know them a little bit better so that you can, enhance your relationship? And is it serving you? And are you two wanting the same goals? And if not, how can you work together to create strategies that meet both of your needs? Thank you for listening. I'm excited to get into the detox process this weekend. So if you are a last minute kind of person, you can jump on the bandwagon of the Detox Vinyasa Yoga teacher training through Wilmington Yoga Center. We'll be at Wilmington Yoga Leland this weekend, and our training starts at 5 o'clock tonight. So I'll come back at you next week and let you know how it went. And if you have any questions for me or any subject that you'd like to discuss, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and make a comment in one of the podcasts and let me know what subjects you'd like to discuss or what you thought about this podcast so that we can all learn and grow together. You are perfect exactly as you are. You are absolutely blessed. You are lucky to be alive right now. There's a reason that you're alive right now. What is that reason? Why are you here? What do you feel that you were put on this planet to do? And how can you begin to do that? How can you live from your heart, honoring your beautiful, perfect, miracle body and your sharp, clear mind? All aspects of yourself deserve recognition, love, and support. I love you, and I love you because I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I respect you, I want to help support you, and I'm here for you. So thank you for listening. Until next time, namaste.